Prime Field.
Welcome to the Huskies show on Prime Field. For 4 decades, Geno Auriemma built a basketball dynasty on a simple yet powerful principle. Identify 8 elite players and forge them into an unbreakable unit. This formula delivered 12 national championships, but as the 2025 to 2026 season dawns, the 71st-year-old coach faces a new kind of challenge. Not a lack of talent, but an abundance of it. For the first time in a quarter century, the University of Connecticut roster is so deep it threatens to buckle under its own weight. With 15 scholarship players, all expecting meaningful time on the court, Auriemma confronts what analysts now call his most complex puzzle yet. The question is no longer just about winning, but about management. Can a system built on a tight, cohesive core survive an era of unprecedented roster size and player mobility? This isn't the luxury it appears to be. It's a high-stakes experiment that could either secure a 13th title or become a cautionary tale of how too much talent can become too much trouble. To understand the current predicament in stores, one must first understand the foundation of its success. Geno Auriemma's coaching philosophy has been honed over 40 years into a masterclass of efficiency. His method is described as deceptively simple. Find a core group of 8 top-tier athletes, cultivate an unshakable chemistry, and ride that unit to March glory. It's a doctrine that has rarely failed, yielding nearly a dozen NCAA championships and cementing his status as a coaching mastermind. This approach prioritizes roles over rotation and chemistry over sheer numbers. The historical record shows teams built not on depth, but on the seamless interplay of a select few. Now, that proven doctrine is being tested. The 2025 and 2026 roster is not an evolution of this philosophy. It is a direct challenge to it. The team enters the season with immense championship expectations, but for the first time, the architecture of the team itself is a departure from the very blueprint that built the dynasty. The scale of the situation is unique in the program's recent history. The Huskies are expected to carry 13 players following recent transfer portal activity, with the flexibility to add up to 2 more. That brings the potential total to 15 scholarship athletes. This marks the deepest roster UConn has seen since the early 2000s. The last time the program entered a season defending a title with such high expectations was in 2015-2016. But even that asterisk team didn't feature this level of depth. What was once considered a strategic advantage is now being framed as a potential burden. The sheer volume of talent creates a new dynamic within the locker room. Each player arrives with credentials worthy of significant minutes on college basketball's most scrutinized stage. The challenge for the coaching staff is no longer simply about development and strategy. It's about managing expectations and egos on a scale they haven't encountered in 25 years. This surplus of talent has transformed a perceived luxury into a significant coaching challenge. Nowhere is this challenge more apparent than in the backcourt. The rotation is described as a recruiting coordinator's fever dream and a rotation manager's nightmare. The personnel list is extensive. AZ Fudd, a marquee talent, returns from a year-long injury hiatus. She joins established contributors KK Arnold and Ashlyn Shade. Veteran guard Caroline Ducharme is also seeking to reclaim a prominent role after her own injury concern. Added to this mix are transfer Kaylee Heckel, who averaged double-digit scoring at her previous school, and 5-star freshman Kelis Fisher. This creates a roster of 6 guards, all with legitimate claims to playing time. The math, as the report notes, is unforgiving, with approximately 120 minutes available across 3 guard positions in a standard game. Distributing that time among 6 high-caliber players becomes an exercise in difficult compromises. It's a logistical and interpersonal puzzle, with no easy solution. The complexities of the backcourt rotation are magnified by the realities of modern college athletics. During UConn's championship run last season, the perimeter minutes were commanded by a clear trio: Paige Beckers, Nika Moule, and Sarah Strong. There was a defined hierarchy. The current roster, however, lacks that same clear separation. And without it, someone's role will inevitably be reduced. In the current era of the transfer portal, player dissatisfaction has an immediate outlet. The report states that players no longer wait for next season to voice concerns over playing time. A diminished role, even on a championship contending team, can lead a player to seek opportunities elsewhere. The portal acts as a constant pressure valve, turning what would have been an internal team dynamic a decade ago into a public roster-altering possibility. Managing this dynamic, keeping elite players engaged while their minutes are slashed, is a critical factor for the team's stability. While the backcourt is overflowing with talent, the frontcourt presents a contrasting issue. The situation is described as teetering on the edge of disaster due to its lack of depth. Beyond the established stars Sarah Strong and Jana El-Alfi, the UConn frontcourt stability is uncertain. The team is banking heavily on the successful return of Ayanna Patterson, a player who has battled through 2 injury-plagued seasons. Further complicating the picture is the reliance on incoming talent. Freshman Gandhi Malu Mamal is expected to make an immediate impact, while fellow freshmen Kelis Fisher and Blanca Quinones are projected to contribute from the bench. However, asking a rookie forward to provide crucial, dependable depth in the high-pressure environment of a March tournament run, that's a significant gamble. This imbalance between a crowded backcourt and a thin frontcourt creates a strategic paradox for the coaching staff. The imbalance between the frontcourt and backcourt threatens to create a cascading effect throughout the roster. Should injuries strike the thin frontcourt, the coaching staff would be forced into difficult decisions. The most likely scenario? Shifting versatile guards, such as KK Arnold or even Sarah Strong, into uncomfortable forward positions to fill the void. This move, born of necessity, would only further complicate what is already being called impossible rotation mathematics. Taking a player from the crowded backcourt to patch a hole in the frontcourt doesn't solve the fundamental issue. It simply moves the problem. It disrupts the rhythm and roles of the guards, while placing them in positions where they may be less effective. This structural vulnerability means that a single injury to a key forward could destabilize the entire team's structure and rotation strategy. History offers a compelling counterpoint to the idea that depth equals dominance. Auriemma's most successful teams, particularly the dynastic squads from 2013 to 2016, thrived on the opposite principle. Their success wasn't built on a deep bench, but on the foundation of continuity and clearly defined roles. Players like Mariah Jefferson, Brianna Stewart, and Morgan Tuck knew exactly when and how they were expected to contribute. There was no ambiguity. This historical precedent suggests Auriemma favors a streamlined, predictable rotation where chemistry can flourish. His 40-year track record indicates a reluctance to lean heavily on his bench, while some analysts suggest the modern game might force a different Geno Auriemma to emerge. His past success was built on a model that is the antithesis of the roster he now commands. The question remains, will he adapt his proven formula, or risk alienating the talent he has assembled? Conversely, a strong argument exists that this deep roster is not a problem to be solved, but a weapon to be deployed. The physical demands of modern basketball are greater than ever, and a deep bench could be the key to wearing down opponents who lack such a luxury. The ability to deploy relentless waves of fresh elite talent could become UConn's primary strategic advantage, especially over the course of a long and grueling season. Furthermore, the transfer portal, while a threat, can also be viewed as a pressure valve that manages itself. In this view, Auriemma can maintain high competition in practice, and players who are unable to secure a role have the freedom to move on. This allows the team to maintain a high talent level, without the long-term locker room friction that might have occurred in a previous era. It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy that embraces the new landscape of college sports, rather than fighting it. Ultimately, UConn's season may hinge on a fundamental question. What is more difficult, maximizing the talents of 8 players, or managing the egos of 15? The report concludes that this challenge, convincing elite athletes to embrace diminished roles for the greater good, is Auriemma's greatest test. It's a challenge that has derailed promising seasons since the game of basketball began. The potential outcomes are stark. The deepest roster in stores since the millennium's dawn could deliver Auriemma his 13th national title, leveraging its overwhelming talent to exhaust every opponent on the path to glory. Or it could fracture from within, becoming the ultimate cautionary tale of how an embarrassment of riches can prove to be more embarrassing than rich. The path to the championship isn't just about outplaying rivals like South Carolina or Stanford. It's about navigating the most talented and potentially most volatile roster in the nation.
Prime Field!